All right, what to do, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the Ultra Rare channel. My name is Marz. For those of you who don't know, and today we're going to be talking about is Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail hard, okay? And while we're doing that, I'm going to be leveling up my Reaper, doing a couple of dailies, and you know that's going to be going on in the background. We're queued up right now. But yeah, with that being said, listen. I've seen a lot of people talking about it last couple of days. It's Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail hard, and it needs to be nerfed, and all this craziness. In my opinion, okay, this is just strictly my opinion, coming from somebody who's fairly new to the game, who's been playing it for about a few months now, 4 months, I think. And I truly and honestly think that I think the game is a little challenging. Yes, absolutely. Does it need to be nerfed? Absolutely not. Dawntrail is 100% a little bit harder than the previous content, in my opinion. But I don't know if this is content, is this because it's the beginning of an expansion. This is my first expansion ever, right? So me playing the games previously and then playing the MSQ, all the dungeons and stuff that I would get into, people would have, of course, the highest level gear and, you know, item level of that dungeon. So it would make pushing that content a lot easier than it is now. Now everybody has like the base level gear to just run this dungeon, or you might have, you know, whatever gear it is, the item score it is 700 or 690, whatever the case is, to be running these raids and stuff. And it might be a little bit difficult because everybody's not hitting with the big dick energy that they have, or, you know, we're still learning a lot of the mechanics. So I think it's just in Final Fantasy XIV, when you're doing raid content and dungeon content and all this kind of other content, it's highly team focused, right? So if your healer doesn't know when to heal at a certain point, or when to prepare to pop up a shield or some healing magic that they do, whatever the case is, to keep everybody alive, of course some people are going to die. And a lot of people do not know the mechanics, or where to stand and how to stand and stuff. Of course people are going to die if your tank doesn't know which way to face the enemy or the bad guy, and everybody's going to get hit and move. The enemies are moving. Like the bosses, these raid bosses move a lot. You have to keep your head on a swivel like crazy in this. Left, right, left, looking around, seeing if they're coming back with the left hand. You got to look at the hands they have up left. Like, it's crazy. I'm here for it personally. 1000% here for it. It makes it fun, right? Back in some of the other expansions, the bosses kind of, you know, lackluster. They just stood there, popped up a little the little shit stain thing that you got to move out of the way from, and you just take a couple of steps back, go back in and kill it. These raid bosses they're not standing still. They're running around the map, swinging and all this crazy stuff, and I'm here for it. So yes, it is a little bit challenging, a little bit hard, but I think that's just for right now. Once everybody starts running the raids more, and everybody starts playing and understanding their roles and where they're supposed to be standing and moving and healing and tanking the proper way, I think it will ease up a little bit. So I do not think the game should be nerfed, especially if you're a casual saying the game should be nerfed. I just disagree with that, right? You know, we could agree to disagree. If you're a casual, because I'm not a casual, but I'm also not a god tier you know, try hard player either. There's the god tiers and there's the casuals. I'm in the middle somewhere, right? Like, I'm not super god tier and I'm not super casual, so I can play the game. And like, when you guys watched me do a lot of my first time dungeons, dying like crazy because the mechanics I wasn't used to. Some people say some of the mechanics are from other bosses in previous expansions. I don't have that kind of knowledge yet to put two and two together. I might have seen it, I might not have seen it, but it is what it is. Long story short, I think we should just play the game. I don't think any nerfs need to happen. Honestly, I can't wait to see if it gets even harder after this, right? These next extreme raids, savage raids. This will be my first time partaking in a savage raid. Day one, like, I'm here for it. I got my Viper. Hopefully I can have my Reaper or Samurai, whichever one I pick. I don't know which one I'm gonna pick just yet, because as you see, we're leveling up the Reaper right now currently, and one of them is gonna be my main DPS class that I'm going to stick with. Right now, if I had to pick, it would be the Samurai, just by a little bit, but that's neither here or there. Is the game hard? I see people's concerns, and as a new player to this myself, I don't, once again, I'm gonna keep saying, I don't think it's hard, man. I just think we just don't know the mechanics. If you've been playing like 2 years and been waiting for this update, and you've been playing since the last expansion, maybe you just got used to how easy it has gotten. But I don't think it's too much different from what the game has originally offered, in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you think the game is hard or not. I just want to see what people's thoughts are. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to give my little quick synopsis on, as a new player, do I think Final Fantasy 14 Dawntrail is hard? No. Is it challenging? A little. And I like that. We want challenging in games, right? And I know this is a game where there's multiple things that you can do. You don't even have to do the raids, right? It's optional. You don't have to do them if you don't want to do them. If you want to go and you know, do your life skills or whatever, you know, be a crafter and crafting everything, go ahead, be a crafter, do that. If you want to just try out you don't have to touch the raids ever again. Now, if you want the gear, then you gotta, you know, understand the mechanics of the raid and play the raid. If you don't want the gear, you don't want anything, then you don't even have to touch the raids. If you're one of those players who don't want to do anything like that, don't ask them to nerf down the content for people who enjoy doing the harder content. Is that fair? I think that's fair, right? If you're just doing it one time just to say you've done it and got it done, get it done, keep it moving. You don't have to ever do it again. Just don't ask to nerf down the content because you're having a hard time trying to play the game. People like difficulties in games, right? You don't have to do it. And I'm pretty sure, like, don't touch the savage mode either, right? No, don't go into savage if you're not a raider and be like, hey, change the savage mode, nerf it because it's too hard. No, unless it's some game breaking mechanic, of course, yeah, change it, nerf it. But if the game is meant to be hard, let the game be hard, man. It's the same thing as Elden Ring. A lot of casuals and normies are starting to get into the gaming world, which is great because now gaming could evolve and a lot more people play it. But this is what gaming is. Figuring out the challenge of the game. Go play another game if you really can't. If you can't cut it, if you want to do this kind of stuff. I don't know. Look, all right, that's it. I've been rambling, yapping away, and we're still in this queue, unfortunately. Okay, so this is how long the video is. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.